Coming up on Juice and Java, early voting in New York starts today. Aaron Lyons is in studio to tell us more about the candidates.
And if you're a cat person, we have the perfect cafe to bring you some positivity.
And Yao Bansu is here to tell us more about the latest music releases.
All of that and more starts right now.
Good morning, I'm Carmella Boykin.
And I'm Ryan Baker. Thanks for starting your morning with us.
Let's kick things off with the squeeze.
The Newhouse School recently announced the establishment of a scholarship in remembrance of the late Dean Lorraine Branham.
Branham was Dean of Newhouse from 2008 until her passing from a long battle of cancer in 2019. In her time as dean, she promoted diversity at Newhouse and Syracuse University as a whole.
The Branham Scholarship aims to help students from lower-income families and underrepresented backgrounds. It will help incoming students as well as offering a finish line scholarships to upperclassmen in need. Merit-based prize will also be given to one incoming freshman. It will be awarded to up to 10 students each fall.
And Syracuse is preparing for the cold, and this year, restaurants will be doing the same. Onondaga County has set aside $200,000 for restaurants to extend outdoor dining through the winter.
Restaurants are eligible to receive up to $5,000 in grants, which will help cover the cost of heaters and fire pits. County Executive Ryan McMahon announced the program on Friday morning.
McMahon says this will help customers who prefer to eat outdoors because of the coronavirus. Applications for the grants open next week.
And outdoor dining sounds incredible, especially with the warmer weather going on right now, but we know it will not, unfortunately, stay that way.
Absolutely. Well, today may not be the best day for that. It looks like an overcast day. Luckily, our weather anchor, Caleb Britt, is in studio to tell us what we can look forward to this week. Caleb?
Good morning, everyone. It's really muggy outside today. It's currently 48 degrees, mostly cloudy with 15 miles per hour winds. But the good thing is there'll be no rain today, so we can look forward to that. And then looking into the day today, you can see will be consistent in the high 40s with temperature dropping at 6 p.m. around 46 and then about 41 at midnight tonight. So keep those jackets handy today, and then later on in the show, I'll have your forecast for tomorrow and a look into next week. Back to you all.
Thanks, Caleb. Regal Cinema is set to reopen 11 theaters across the state, following approval from Governor Cuomo.
Theaters will operate at a 25% capacity to allow social distancing, and masks will be required. This move comes after Cineworld recently suspended its operations in the U.S. and the U.K., impacting more than 536 Regal cinemas nationally.
And last week, the Regal E-Walk in Times Square put pressure on Cuomo to give theaters the green light using the hashtag #ReopenOurCinemasNewYork on a marquee. Theaters have been closed since March.
And early voting in New York begins today. Voters who prefer to vote early and try and skip out on long Election Day lines have until November 1st to cast their ballot.
This is the first presidential election where early voting is allowed. Voters can go to any early voting site within their county.
Absentee ballots can also be dropped off at polling places to ensure they're received on time. But the last day to request an absentee ballot is Tuesday, the 27th.
The final presidential debate was held on Thursday. President Trump and Joe Biden discussed the coronavirus, the economy, healthcare, race, and immigration.
President Trump discussed what he's done on the topics during his time in office. Joe Biden proposed policies on how we would handle them if elected. One major difference between the candidates was their outlook on the pandemic and possible vaccines.
President Trump falsely suggested the coronavirus is going away and that the vaccine is ready, while Biden proposed national guidelines for school and business openings. He also stated the vaccine will not likely be ready until mid-2021.
And sticking to politics, as we said, early voting starts in New York today. If you're a registered voter here in New York, you can also head over to a polling place and cast your vote.
The closest site to campus is a bit of a drive. It's Southwest Community Center on South Avenue. Here to break down this year's ballot is CitrusTV's Aaron Lyons.
Thanks, Ryan and Carmella. The big item on the ballot this year is obviously the race for president between incumbent Republican Donald Trump and former Vice President Democrat Joe Biden. It's a heated, chaotic race that many, including the candidates themselves, have characterized as a referendum on the soul of the nation. The two faced off in Tennessee this past Thursday for the last presidential debate before November 3rd. A New York Times Ipsos college poll shows Biden leading Trump by about 7 to 8 points. Local candidates also debated just this past week. Incumbent Republican Representative John Katko and Democratic challenger Dana Balter, a former SU professor, are fighting for New York's 24th district in the House. They faced off twice this week. One debate was moderated by Syracuse.com and another at CNY Central. Katko has a long history in the 24th. He's served since 2015. This is Balter's second attempt to unseat Katko. Most polls are close, but Katko is currently leading by about 5 to 8 points. However, this is a seat most Democratic strategists believe they can flip this year. Katko is in a vulnerable position because of his relationship and endorsement of an unpopular president. Now on to one other local race, the fight between incumbent Democratic Representative Anthony Brindisi and Republican Claudia Tenney for NY22. Brindisi unseated Tenney in 2016, and now she's trying to get her old seat back. The latest polls show Brindisi ahead of Tenney. He beat Tenney by just 2 points in 2016, but Brindisi has a stronger lead over her this week. Now we'll have to wait until election night to see how it all ends. So Ryan and Carmella, I hope you're paying attention. Are you ready for a little bit of a quiz?
Not even in the slightest. Let's get started.
Okay, so here's something easy. Who is currently leading in the presidential polls?
Currently, it's former Vice President Joe Biden.
That's correct. Okay, so who is competing for NY24th?
I believe it is Claudia Tenney and nope, it's
Dana Balter and John Katko?
Yeah, there we go, Ryan. Who's competing for NY22?
Claudia Tenney.
And?
You got this.
I believe in you, Carmella. Come on.
I think we
have Claudia
No
Tenney.
cheating.
Hang on just a moment.
No
See,
cheating.
they
Do not
say
look
poll
back.
the audience. Anthony Brindisi.
Okay, you don't get that question because you cheated. Now, how long has Katko
Using
served?
resources. Continue.
Okay, how long has Katko served as representative in NY24?
You know, that's really a great question. How long has Katko served, Aaron?
Since 2015, as I said earlier. Now, that's all the questions I've got for you. Hopefully this little elections explainer was good.
And hopefully you at home, now you know who's on the ballot here in New York.
I certainly know a lot more after that, so thank you so much, Aaron. After the break, senior correspondent Emily Karp is in studio to tell us about Pronoun Day at SU.
And Rachel Singleton tells us about a restaurant opening up in Syracuse that's serving up perfect tea.
Stay with us.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
International Pronouns Day was this week, and senior correspondent Emily Karp is in studio to tell us about the day and how we can be respectful while using affirmative pronouns.
Last Wednesday, October 21st, was International Pronouns Day. This day celebrates a global initiative campaign that seeks to educate individuals on personal pronouns. Established in 2018, Syracuse University has commemorated International Pronouns Day for the last 3 years. Specifically, SU works closely with the Pronoun Gender Preferred Name Advisory Council and the LGBT Resource Center to host various activities around campus on this day. The activities are guided by the idea of educating students about affirmative pronoun usage and to celebrate intersecting identities within the SU community. Traditionally celebrated in person, International Pronouns Day was honored virtually this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. On Wednesday, students had the opportunity to play pronouns trivia in a virtual contest, including prizes. Students also had the ability to join virtual training sessions focused on how to build awareness surrounding preferred names. I spoke to Candace Bina, junior at SU and member of the LGBT community, about the day and how to respectfully correct students when using affirmative pronouns.
Okay, so why do you think that it's important for students or faculty or both to be educated about how to be respectful while using pronouns?
It's important to make sure that from a student and faculty perspective, to make sure that you're calling other students or like your students the right pronouns, like their pronouns, making sure that they're not uncomfortable. We're all here to learn, and no one deserves to be made uncomfortable in like their educational environment.
What are some ways that you think that people can be respectful while using pronouns? Like, for example, if someone is unsure what pronoun to use, how would you necessarily go about correcting them?
I would say if you're ever unsure, use like the neutral they, them. Like, that's something that we all do subconsciously anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, better to ask than assume. Mm-hmm. What are your pronouns? I don't like preferred pronouns because it's just like these are their pronouns, and I think it just shows respect and decency for other people, and it's not a hard thing to do.
What do you think that Syracuse University can further do to celebrate people of all communities, specifically the LGBTQ plus community?
Syracuse needs to do a better job of allowing students to update their new names and pronouns, and making sure that it's consistent throughout departments in the school. Somebody shouldn't have to jump through so many hoops to have their identity respected.
The university is working closely with the PGPNAC to ensure students do not have to jump through so many hoops. The PGPNAC successfully implemented a new MySlice service that allows both students and faculty to indicate their personal and preferred pronouns. To change your pronoun on MySlice, visit your profile, then navigate to the Biographic tab and click the pronoun link. For more information about International Pronouns Day or on pronouns in general, email pgpnac@syr.edu.
Thank you so much, Emily. And Positivity CNY Cafe and Cat Lounge is the only place in Syracuse where you can purchase a treat, hang out with some furry friends, and get them a home.
That's right, Ryan. Positivity is no stranger to cat cafes, but they didn't expect to find a perfect friend. Juice and Java's Doracia Singleton explains what you can do to enjoy the new cat cafe.
Brianna might have had a hard time deciding what she wanted from the menu, but she didn't have a hard time deciding on what cat caught her eye.
I really liked Clarabelle. She's a little bit, she's not a kitten, she's almost 2 years old.
Brianna and her sister Sierra have had cats since they were younger, but 2 recently passed away.
The one cat that's left, she's kind of a loner. She just likes to be alone, so it's nice to get to actually play with kittens and stuff like that.
Yeah, they the cats here remind me of our old cats, and it's a good reminder.
Although the cafe allows customers to come in, grab a hot chocolate, and spend some time with the cats, the main goal is to find these cats a stable home. But for now, this is their home.
They stay here until they get adopted.
But for Alicia, it can be bittersweet to say goodbye.
There's Meatball, and that's Ollie. These two were my first residents. They're so good, I miss them.
She's had 10 adoptions, but another
Anyone like pending adoption out of Guerrero?
might just be on the way. Daracia Singleton reporting for Juice and Java.
Oh, that was absolutely adorable. I want a cat now.
I'm not even a cat person, and that package made me want to go to that cafe and meet all those kitties.
Yeah,
Absolutely
definitely.
adorable.
We'll have to check it out. And when we come back, Ryan and I get into this spooky season spirit with some good old-fashioned competition.
That's right. Stay with us.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Carmella, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's almost Halloween. We were feeling like getting in the spirit this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Just when you walk around campus, it feels like in the spirit with all the changing leaves. And Ryan and I got together to carve some pumpkins and actually get into the spooky season spirit with a little competition. Let's take a look. Hey, welcome back to Juice and Java. Ryan and I are here. We're going to do a little pumpkin carving competition.
That is right, Carmella. I think step one here is, in my opinion, the most difficult part. And that's actually cutting a hole that's going to be big enough for us to scoop out the pumpkin guts. And it's really the basis for the rest of the things we do here. So super important. And I'm pretty excited to jump right into it.
Yeah, I mean, we have one mic, but the opportunities for this pumpkin carving are endless. So we'll have to see how it goes. Here's the deal. We have 20 minutes. We need to make a design, carve it, gut it. This is a lot of work to do. Do you think we can do it?
You're doing your design before you cut the... Carmella, you've got me questioning everything. So now we got the top of my pumpkin off. We're gonna just start scooping the guts. One thing we also do at home, like my family, we'll save the pumpkin seeds and actually cook them. You bake them,
yes.
Salt them, and they're quite delicious. So Carmella, did you know that the term jack-o'-lantern actually originated from the Irish spirit Stingy Jack? And it was a way for families would actually carve potatoes into scary faces to ward off the evil spirits such as Stingy Jack. And
Gotcha.
When they immigrated into America, the tradition kind of continued, except people started using the pumpkins that were in their homes.
Right.
And thus the term jack-o'-lantern was born.
Pumpkin fact number 2. Did you know that the biggest pumpkin was 1,208 pounds? Fact check me on that one.
Incorrect. 1,810 pounds was the largest jack-o'-lantern ever made. All right, so Carmella's going with the more jack-o'-lantern style. I'm gonna do a little piece pumpkin just because I'm feeling crazy today.
Letters are definitely challenging, but Ryan is a pro, so. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Let's see what you got. Ooh, look at those clean lines. Do you see these clean lines? Ooh, that's really well done. That's impressive work.
Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Okay, so the strings coming out of the mouth actually look like it just gobbled something, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Kind of like that effect.
It's not the timeliness or how quickly you had to do it, but it adds to the effect, right? I think I really, I've tried to capture the power of the eyebrow in this up at the top. So, take your pick on social media, who you think did best. Of course, I'm partial to my own. Respect the lines and the detail, though. That's a challenging bit.
Peace by a million.
Absolutely. That's what we've got for you on this segment, but we'll see you after the break.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. If you are a Spotify or Apple Music user, I'm sure you know that Fridays are always a big day for new music, and this Friday was one of the most stacked days in music this year. Among the newest releases, Ariana Grande led the way with her new single, Positions. Here to tell us more is Juice and Java correspondent Yao Bansu.
Another new Music Friday has passed, and the biggest release of the day was Ariana Grande's newest track titled Positions. The song was accompanied by a new music video where Grande played a number of different roles. She started off in the White House playing the commander-in-chief, doing what the president does, sitting in the Oval Office, addressing her council, and chilling out in what looked like her private presidential bedroom. But what made this video interesting is what happened next. Grande went from the President of the United States to your average kitchen worker. She switches back and forth through these positions, see what I did there, to create an empowering tune filled with proper representation, tributes, and a reminder that maybe America needs themselves a female president. The point is that Ariana Grande is back with new music. With an album preparing to be released next week, Grande is certainly ready to reclaim her crown as pop's princess. I'm sorry to Taylor Swift fans.
Oof, I'm so looking forward to this album, but there was also another big drop in music yesterday. Ty Dolla $ign released his newest project titled Featured Ty Dolla $ign. So yeah, what made this album so special?
Well, this album features some of the biggest names in hip-hop and R&B. That includes names such as Roddy Ricch, Kanye West, Kehlani, Kid Cudi, Nicki Minaj, Jhené Aiko, and a bunch of different names that I can't even say in one breath. But usually when you have an album that spans 25 songs like this one, it can be considered going overboard. However, Ty Dolla $ign does it right. Nearly every song has a feature, and overall so many different sounds are explored, making for one amazing project.
And now, can you tell us a little bit about how this album in particular shows what it shows us about Ty Dolla $ign as an artist?
It shows that Ty Dolla $ign is one of the most skillful singers, songwriters, and producers in the entire music game. When you listen to his music, it kind of sounds like a new genre in and of itself. And I do not remember a single instance where any artist dedicated an album solely to songs where he or she considered themselves the feature. And the fact that Ty Dolla $ign was able to do it made for a success.
Definitely, gotta keep it humble. Ty Dolla $ign and Ariana Grande are not the only artists dominating the headlines. Shawn Mendes is also part of a big project. What can you tell us about that?
Netflix will be releasing a documentary titled In Wonder. It will follow Shawn Mendes, as the streaming juggernaut described it as, quote, follow Shawn Mendes' journey towards self-discovery after the physical and emotional demands of his rise and his last world tour pushed him towards a personal musical reckoning. Mendes wanted to make it very clear that this is not your average documentary about your favorite artist. Rather, this is just the story of a boy who is still growing up. The documentary will release November 23rd, and considering he is one of the biggest pop stars in the world, you can bet on this creating a lot of buzz within the entertainment industry, especially with Camila Cabello being featured.
Well, I am certainly a fan of both Shawn and Camila, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And coming up on Juice and Java, do you have $1 million idea? Well, one SU alum certainly did.
Stay with us.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Today may not look or feel the best, but it gets a little better tomorrow. We see it will be 46 around noon, a high of 51 at 3 p.m. Then it goes down to 47 around 6 p.m. It'll be sunny with a few clouds and 5 miles per hour winds, so you kind of can't beat that for the fall. And then going into next week, we get the showers over a little early. So Monday, it'll be cloudy with some showers, a high of 53 and a low of 41. Then on Tuesday, more clouds and more showers, with the high of 51 and a low of 40. Then on Wednesday, the sun meets us once again with the high of 55 and a low of 42. Then on Thursday, more sun and clouds with the high of 56 and a low of 38. Then on Friday, a high of 48 with a low of 32. And just a little tidbit, we'll see sun all next weekend, so just perfect for those safe and socially distant Halloween gatherings with 5 people or less, obviously. So back to you all.
Thank you so much. Do you have $1 million idea? Well, SU alumnus Joshua Aviv certainly did. On ABC's Shark Tank, Aviv received $1 million investment in his company's Spark Charge.
The company was founded by Aviv and Christopher Ellis in 2014 while attending Syracuse University. Spark Charge creates portable chargers for electric cars so they can be charged literally anywhere.
And Shark Tank's Lori Grenier and Mark Cuban are investing $500,000 each in exchange for a 5% stake in the company and seats on the company's board of directors.
And this is a really interesting idea because electric cars are becoming, more and more prevalent, but as electric cars get popular, they're going to need ways to be charged if there aren't chargers in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely. It used to be a novelty, and now we're seeing electric cars everywhere, so I think this is going to be big.
Absolutely. That's all we've got for you this week on Juice and Java. I'm Carmella Boykin.
And I'm Ryan Baker. Check us out online at CitrusTV.com and follow us on CitrusTV, Facebook, and Twitter.